And I want to just talk about some of the contributions that were made by Muslims. And this can get very complicated. But I just want to talk about some of them tonight, just to show you some of the legacy that came from Spain and from Baghdad and from Cairo and Qayrawan, Morocco, and all over the Muslim world. In mathematics, Al-Khwarizmi, Thabit Al-Mahani, Ibn Yunus, Ibn Hamza. There's a number of names. Muhammad bin Ahmed. Some of the achievements made, they began algebra and symbols and equations. Develop Arabic numerals, Sifr, 0, Arabic numeral system. They established a logarithm. They founded the general formula for solving third-degree equations. They founded trigonomic ratios, formulas, and equations. And you can continue to go on and you'll see calculus and trigonometry and all of these areas of math have a debt to Islam. In physics, Ibn al-Haytham, al-Biruni, Ibn Yunus, there's a number of names. They established the science of power or mechanics. They described the center of gravity. They described gravity. So when that apple hit Newton in his head, okay, he was probably reading an Arabic book, and it woke him up from his sleep, and then he turned to the page on gravity. But what comes to us, the apple hit him in his head, and they say he discovered gravity. Muslims had described gravity in details long before Isaac Newton. Also, they described mechanical properties of geometric bodies. They developed the hydrometer, aerometer, the lever, balance, scale. They measured specific gravity of different substances, invented the pendulum, the spring and wall clock. Also you find in chemistry, Khalid ibn Yazid, Jabir ibn Hayyan, Al-Kindi, Al-Razi. You find they introduced atomic theory of matter. They developed processes of evaporation, sublimation, crystallization, distillation, filtration, pigmentation, melting. They introduced methods of steel making, metalwork. They developed procedures for dyeing of cloths and textiles. They established preparation methods of chemicals, sulfuric, nitric and hydrochloric acids, ammonium chloride, silver nitrate, mercuric oxide, chloride, sulfide, sodium. They developed chemical processes and methods for manufacturing of glass, soaps, perfumes, resins, oils, paints, paper, sugar, gunpowder. They introduced the uses of jars and flasks, scales and tubes, and you can go on in terms of the things they were introducing. In astronomy, Al-Battani, Al-Biruni, Al-Farghani, and you can go on. They developed astrolabes and sextants, prepared star catalogs and tables of planetary motion, named over 200 stars with Arabic names. They proved the earth as a spherical shape. They calculated the length of terrestrial degree, determined the earth's circumference and diameter. They measured solar inclination angle. They charted the positions and orbits of stars and planets. In medicine, you find Al-Razi, Ibn Sina, they call him Avicenna. In his work, Al-Qanun fi Tib, the law in medicine, you find they performed gynecology, obstetrics. They wrote medical encyclopedias. They performed therapy procedures. They prepared mercury ointment. They discovered a blood circulation and described the pulmonary circulation and the function of lungs. They recognized the contagious nature of tuberculosis and the distribution of disease by water and soil. They performed surgical treatment of eyes, ears, and teeth. They used and described over 200 surgical instruments. Over 200 surgical instruments. It's amazing. They describe 130 eye diseases. And they characterize 143 drugs. In pharmacology, Jabir ibn Hayyan, Ibn al-Bitar, Dawood al-Antaqi, Ali ibn Isa, they prepared alcohol, acids, nitrates, carbonates. They introduce the use of picrotoxin. They prepared chemical medicaments in pills and solutions. They established chemist shops for dispensing prescriptions. They introduced to Europe quite a number of medicines and herbs which betray their Arabic name. Al-Kanna, alcohol, alcohol. Alcohol is Arabic word. Al-Kali, alfalfa, camphor, cotton, hakim, jasmine, saffron, etc. In geography, Hisham ibn al-Kalbi, al-Yaqubi, Ibn Jubair, al-Idrisi, al-Mas'udi, and you can go on. They invented many geographic and surveying instruments and devices. They prepared many accurate and detailed nautical and land road maps of the world. They calculated and prepared ephemeris tables of ocean tides and seasonal winds. They described the lands and the natives of the New World in their reports. Now, someone would say, well, how do they know this? And you go on in astronomy, history, a number of subjects. How would they be so good in these subjects? I want to take two areas. In the area of geography and astronomy. So what is important about the stars and direction? What is important about the geography of the world? All of the Muslims, up until now, are concerned with direction. Because every time we pray toward Mecca. So therefore, wherever you are, you have to determine where Mecca is. I walk around with a compass on. And wherever I am, I can just do my compass, and and I can figure it out based on knowing, which direction it is, and find where Mecca is. So therefore, it was a natural thing for Muslims to get into the direction and always to be looking at the sun to know what time of day it is because of the cycle of prayer. It's a natural thing. Also, pilgrimage to Mecca. Every Muslim should try to make pilgrimage to Mecca once in a lifetime. And so therefore, these complicated works in geography, like international road maps, were developed especially for Muslims to be able to travel from, say, China or India or West Africa or Northern Europe and travel to Mecca. So you find these complicating the same way today. If I want to go to Dallas, Texas, I go to the AAA and I say, I'd like to go to Texas. They say, okay, we'll give you triptychs. And they say, okay, take route such and such, and then you go south on that route, and they'll give you the maps all the way, right? So this is a similar thing. They show you the geography, and they'll show you, and many of these books are still existent today. You got to be able to read Arabic. And they'll show you, you take this route, and there's water on this side, there are hostile people over here, there's poisonous snakes in this area. They describe the way for you, so you can make it safely by land or by sea to get to Mecca. So it was a natural thing for the Muslims to be able to determine the different areas.